order the October 5th meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety. Roll call. Here?
Here.
Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of September 21st.
I recommend we approve the reading of the minutes of the 21st.
And I'll concur. We get down to correspondence. Item A is a bid recommendation from VS Engineering for the Columbia Park Trail project. It appears that the low bidder is Walsh & Kelly, and they're recommending that the bid be awarded to Walsh & Kelly in the amount of $394,091.55.
Recommend we approve the bid for Columbia Park Trail.
And I'll concur. Our Vice President just came in, so
Here.
we'll go back to the normal agenda item. Let's see, agreement with First Group Engineering for Hammond Avenue for Hune Street to 200 feet north of 141st Street. Dean, we've got a grant from NERC for half of the construction cost. Is that correct?
This is the community crossings project
Right.
that extends home north from it, the end of the current project. So it's the construction is community crossings funded. The
engineering has to be
done
local?
by the local. Yep.
What's the source of funds for this? Do we know yet?
Would have to
We've
coordinate that.
actually allocated dollars from our special one-time Lowit distribution to provide a match for these projects. So
So,
this one is handled.
so 100% for engineering and 50-50 for the balance.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion approving the agreement with First Group Engineering?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item C is change order number 7 received from American Structure Point for Chicago Street widening and reconstruction phase 3. This is an additional $6,242.50, and it is for, it's a water item. Adjust water manholes right at Columbia Avenue.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item D, correspondence received from Earth Exploration Incorporated requesting permission to perform a geotechnical evaluation of the 173rd Street improvements, Woodmar Avenue to Ontario Avenue. So are they working for us, right? Do I have a motion approving?
Dean, is this for one of the district projects?
This is the Purdue, in the Purdue area, right?
Yeah, this is for the NDOT project that we're doing in front of Purdue.
That's an improvement in crossing protection for the, yeah.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item E, correspondence received from Councilman Dave Werpel requesting $22,000 of gaming funds be allocated to the 2017 overlay program.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item F, notice of violation hearing on property located at 6637 Harrison Avenue. Mr. Weigel?
I spoke with code enforcement, and I believe they spoke with Corporation Counsel about giving us some time to go out there and figure out what we need to do to comply with the code enforcement folks and to decide what we're going to do with it. This is a situation where we bought it in '94 as a 3-unit, and all he ever did with it really was some siding and a new roof. I think the first inspection happened like 3 years ago, and then I called up to find out what was going on, and then the petition was filed.
How much time are you gonna need?
We can do this in the next couple weeks. I'd say 30 days. Okay?
That'd be fine. Start the inspection, you should be fine after that, yeah. We verify what the situation.
So do we still need a notice of violations hearing, or do we need a status?
Well, we don't know that yet.
Yeah.
At least from our standpoint, we don't know that yet.
The inspector that did the inspection with us, so we'd like to go and reestablish what the situation was, and what the situation is now as compared to that.
30 days enough to get in there and do the inspection, come back?
Us,
Okay. Make a motion to set for status on November 2nd.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item G is status on property located at 10 Rimback Street.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Attorney Jim Del Santo. I represent Dolores Lucas, the owner at 10 Rimback Street. Unfortunately, she's not here this morning. I know she's had some health issues. We were waiting for a revised contract from Hickson Home Improvement. Unfortunately, I don't have that. I would be requesting a few weeks. I'll get that, and I'll certainly forward it to the appropriate people.
That's fine if you want.
Is that fine with you guys?
Yeah, if you want to continue it for status till November 2nd.
Same? Okay. All right, we'll make a motion to set for status on November 2nd.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Item H, correspondence received requesting a rental registration hearing.
We'll set for status, for hearing on November 9th.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Item I, correspondence received from New Salem MB Church Incorporated requesting police presence during a community outreach Saturday, October 28th at 452 Sibley from 10 a.m. to noon, providing food and blankets for the homeless.
This hasn't gone to PD yet, or
Pardon?
this hasn't gone to police yet, right?
Hasn't gone to PD yet? We probably should
Okay.
refer it to them.
right?
Motion to refer to PD for review and recommendation.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item J, we have correspondence received from resident Mrs. Pat Brown requesting residential parking on the 6200 block of Jefferson Avenue. Now, she doesn't have a petition attached, which is typical because everybody's going to have to get stickers. And usually, these would only be approved if most of the neighborhood wanted it. So I don't know, what do we want to do about this? Do we want to have maybe Gary go and take a look and see what the problem is? Is there like a business that's parking there, or if it's just residents?
6200 block of Jefferson. Oh, yeah. Wallace School's right there.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah, we probably should investigate it to see why she's requesting it, but I think to ultimately do resident-only parking, she's going to have to get a petition signed by the affected residents.
Okay, so we want to send it to Gary first?
I think so. Let's send it to Gary for comment.
Make a motion to refer to Gary Gleason in Public Works for comment on the situation.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item K, garage sale permits.
Motion to approve the garage sale permit.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item 6, matters from other board members. I have one. This is construction observation for an investigation of the utility tunnel that crosses under New York Avenue. It's in the amount of $2,000, and this is to determine if there's any issues with this abandoned facility.
This is with who? Nice. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Any other matters from other department heads or their representatives?
Mr. President, members of the board, I sincerely apologize that you did not receive this action before this time. Last Thursday, you opened bids for the Illinois-Idaho lighting project, and we did receive a bid recommendation that did not make it to the board on time. I would hope the board would at least provisionally consider this. Recommendation by Mr. Jason Spain of SEH. Bids were received last Thursday. The low bidder is Hawk Enterprises in the amount of $418,855.44. They provided their bid bond, their Form 96 non-collusion affidavit, and E-Verify affidavit. So everything was in order, and it's their recommendation to award the contract to Hawk Enterprises. They will, if upon approval, we will get executed contracts and make sure the legal department.
They are the low bidder?
They are the low bidder, yes, sir.
And do you have a draft of the letter from the consultant?
I can print it
And we're,
out
yeah, just,
immediately after this meeting and bring it up for you.
well, we wouldn't want something to show up next week that had a different recommendation. That's the only thing I'm a little
No,
concerned
I'm
about.
reading it.
Okay.
Directly from there, so I will make sure
So-
to get it immediately after this meeting.
So we can make an award, and then you could have the contract here next week for us to sign, because it's probably urgent to get this started before the weather gets too bad.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You comfortable with that?
Sure.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion approving the recommendation to make the award to Hawk Enterprises?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes.
Thank you kindly.
Any other matters from department heads or their representatives? Any new business? Any old business? Meeting's open to the public. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to step up to the microphone? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.